Good morning, I'm Wendy Burke, and this is the CBC Morning Report for Friday, September 24th. In our top story, Barbados' last review by the IMF in August noted that the economy remains severely depressed by the ongoing global coronavirus pandemic. While tourism is expected to recover gradually in the second half of 2021 and the first half of 2022, risks to the general outlook remain. The report noted that despite this very challenging environment, Barbados continues to make good progress in implementing its ambitious and comprehensive economic reform program while expanding critical investments in social protection. This morning, we get an update on Barbados' economic recovery in the face of COVID-19 from Dr. Kevin Greenidge, Government Senior Economic and Technical Advisor. Good morning to you, Mr. Greenidge, and thanks for rising this early to update us. First off, let's look at the extended fund facilities and the latest review from the International Monetary Fund.
Hi, good morning, Wendy, and thanks for having me. As you said at the start, the IMF gave us a visit on August 27th, and in that visit, they noted, as we all know, that coronavirus has had a severe impact on the Barbados economy, coupled with the Hurricane Elsa and the ashfall. And the economy remained depressed, having declined by 18% last year and in the first quarter of this year, even though we saw a bit of recovery in the second quarter. And though we expect a recovery at the end of the year, all that hinges on what happens in terms of our tackling the virus and the crisis as well.
Okay, to help us before the corona came, we had embarked on a number of other homegrown programs, BERT, BOSS, the BEST program, all designed to help various industries within our economy. Update us on how they've been doing.
So Wendy, just in terms of context, so we have one program, overarching program, that's the Barbados Economic Recovery and Transformation Program, the BERT program. That's the overarching program. And then the BOSS program and the best as programs, it's like having an overall exercise program, and these other two are sub-programs. The overall BERT program started before in 2018, prior to COVID crisis, and we have been doing quite well on that. I've achieved a number of things under that, like fixing the debt, fixing the fiscal, which allow government to clear risk, fixing the reserves position, protecting the exchange rate. That, because of the onset of the coronavirus, then ashfall and Elsa, part of it had to be put on hold, like some reforms done at SOEs, but it was basically adjusted to take into account for extra spending as it relates to government domestic capital program, extra spending as it relates to the health program, and trying to help individuals withstand the effects of the crisis. So a large component of the focus shift to sustaining and maintaining persons as we try to mitigate where we are. That continues to be so. We continue to, but the overarching fundamentals of the program remain the same. Try to maintain a strong fiscal position that will allow the government fiscal and debt position will remain stable. BOSS was a sub-program of that, and the focus of BOSS was to provide some fiscal pace for government, while at the same time allowing individuals to save, particularly public sector workers. We had anticipated on the BOSS about $5 million in government bonds being issued every month, and that is exactly what's happening now, close to $5 million. So since BOSS started in July 2019, government issued $65.2 million year to date. The majority of that has been held by government employees, followed by credit unions and pension schemes, picking up what government employees had given up. And so that has led to a very active secondary market, and persons are in high demand. In terms of BEST, while the BOSS focus on individuals, etc., BEST focus on the NULSA program on helping businesses, particularly those that are mainly hotels and impacted by the impact of coronavirus on tourism, etc. And the objective was really to help business keep the doors open, keep persons employed on the job, and at the same time do some retooling, greening the business, etc. Today, that has helped roughly 55 businesses, 21 in the accommodation sector, others in water sports, restaurants, etc. And 24 businesses also received some of that, some investment in terms of transformation business funding. Um, Collectively, it would have aided 2,200 employees directly. And in terms of the cost government roughly so far about 42 million in terms of payroll and working capital for those businesses, which is roughly about 5 million per month. Another 12 million has been approved in terms of transformation projects for businesses, as I say, mainly in terms of solar, PVs, and sustainable refurbishment. So those are the three programs, BERT and two sub-programs.
Okay, so we're on the road. You mentioned the assistance given to individuals. Now, we know quite a few people would have lost their jobs as a result of the pandemic, and the NIS fund would have been severely hit. Is there any move afoot now by government to try to replenish those funds, and how are you looking to do it?
Absolutely. In fact, Cabinet recently approved a cabinet paper for the recapitalization of the unemployment fund to the tune of 143 million over roughly a 3-year period. And indeed, government has already given to the fund $50 million for this year, and probably another 10 million depending on how the fiscal position looks and what we can do. So within a 3-year period, that fund should be fully recapitalized. In terms of the pension fund, the main fund, which you know would have taken a roughly $1 billion haircut because of the debt restructuring. The idea would be based on the next actual review that will be conducted or being conducted. A plan will be developed, which will then involve refinancing that over a period of time. That actual review should be finished by the end of October this year.
Okay, so what are your expectations in terms of that recapitalization? Because I'm sure there's still been a bit of shifting in the economy, and the employment numbers may have risen a little bit since the major layoffs.
Yeah, but we have to wait on the actual report. For me to tell you what the plan will be, for me to guess, I don't know. It's like asking me how to, yeah, we have to wait on that plan. But the point is, there's already been addressed in terms of the actual report, because things will say demographics will shift, the economy is performing differently, different variables in there. So once you have that plan, then we can develop a plan to cabinet that will allow us to address the pension fund.
Okay, and how has the government itself been doing in terms of handling its payments?
Oh, one of the main tenets of the BERT program when we first started was to fix the government fiscal position of finances. Because of that, government was able to pay down close to $2 billion in arrears. And one of the flies of the program is government must remain current on all its bills. And I must say that there's not been a bill that has not been paid, as far as I know. So we have remained current on all payments, and that's why we have a program, because under the program we see what's coming. You don't have to spend more in terms of health. You don't have to spend more dealing with COVID. You don't have to spend more trying to keep persons employed. But you do that in a way that allows you to still pay your bills and remain current and keep your investors' confidence up.
Okay.
So there's no issue in terms of payments.
We're moving towards another review. I believe it's to come in November. What are some of the things that businesses and as well as individuals should be doing to keep Barbados's fiscal position healthy?
Well, so there's two things. First of all, government is the one that focus on fiscal position in terms of keeping their position healthy. For me, for individuals and for businesses, they need to find a way to prepare themselves for the reopening the economy in terms of business, tourism, etc., and continue to do what they need to do to keep them going, open and keeping persons employed, which means, in my view, looking to invest smartly in different aspects in the economy, renewable energy, etc., doing what they need to do to green their business, doing what they need to do to protect themselves and their employees from where we are in terms of coronavirus, etc., and trying and making sure, just as government, because while we are waiting for and expect tourism to recover once we get this under control, we still have to continue, as government is doing, trying to expand the local capital market and trying to do things with respect to roads and refurbishments, etc.
The capital works projects would have begun robustly and we would have seen a lot of changes happening, but there's been a slowing somewhat. And also in terms of private investment into construction, etc., it's not been going at the pace that was anticipated. So is the private sector doing enough to help in terms of the whole economic recovery?
Well, I'm not aware of the slowing you're referring to. I think compared to other countries, we are doing, doing region, we are doing as good as one can expect it, given this magnitude shock that we have faced. I think, as far as I can see, private sector, government, everyone, all hands on board and doing as good as we can. Of course, we would like to grow fast. We would like to get this economy going, but all remains on what we do in terms of COVID.
Okay, and you have a passion in relation to COVID and how the economy is functioning. How do you feel generally about our management of it and the external shocks and so on, how we've been managing them in the face of COVID?
Well, my passion is a passion. Every vision is the idea is to get this economy back going, so we can get people back employed and get our brothers and sisters and families and friends working. Um, it is quite simple. There's a direct link between COVID, tourism, and economic position. Our economy is what we call a highly dependent tourism economy, one of the few in the
Mm-hmm.
world like that. Seychelles and other countries are like that. Seychelles. We depend, our economy depends on what happens to tourism. 40% of economic activity and roughly 40% of employment is both directly and indirectly affected by tourism. And so our recovery hangs on that. Um, if you think about recent history, in last year, when COVID hit us in March, between March and December, we lost 90% of our tourist arrivals. And because of that, we lost $2 million in economic activity. In terms of perspective, between 2000 and 2017, the economy only grew by 500 million. So losing 2 billion in 1 year is a direct link to tourism. And you can see the performance of that. Even in the last quarter of last year, we lost 500 million. These are unprecedented shocks to the economy that we've never had before. And therefore, the only way we are going to get this economy growing is to recognize that direct link between our management of tourism, of COVID, which we're doing compared to most countries, a pretty good job, and yet uh, and tourist arrivals and economy. And because of high dependency, while others countries just managing again with COVID will be able to perhaps see a little growth because maybe they have bauxite, they have some oil, and they have some natural resources, which we don't have. It means that we have to really carefully manage that. And once we get COVID under control, then no breaks, etc., then we can expect to see the recovery in tourism. We have done the work because we have increased flight capacity coming. We expected more flights coming in terms of American Airlines and British and Virgin, all of those. Everything is there. It comes to a point where it all relates to us as Bajans, Barbadians, residents, doing what we need to do to keep to get our COVID under control, no sporadic outbreaks of the virus, and that is what will give us a recovery. And
Okay.
so, yes, I'm passionate, but like every other Bajan will be once we connect the link that there's a direct link between COVID performance, tourism performance, and the performance of the economy.
I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning, Dr. Greenidge, for giving us those insights and updating us on the economy. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you very much.
Next on CBC Morning Report, we'll give you updates on the COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Mia Motley is hoping to assemble a Barbadian medical brigade comprising those in the diaspora to assist in the COVID-19 fight on island. During a joint online and face-to-face conversation with the diaspora, she invited interested people with diverse skill sets to register online immediately.
Let it not be said that we're only asking for nurses. We also would like doctors who would come for locum. And those doctors, medical intensivists, anesthetists, A&E physicians, lab techs, we're asking for all kinds of support because we want a Bajan medical brigade and nurse practitioners as well, all types, PhDs, all types. I would like that if at the end of this, we can constitute a Bajan medical brigade that is available in the same way that Cuba has distinguished itself globally. We don't have the numbers of Cuba, but we have too many Barbadians who have gone into education and healthcare, and we need now to be able to reap the reward that is ours because of the investment in education.
Prime Minister Motley has also been speaking about plans to redouble efforts to inoculate the population of those over 70 in country. Approximately 23,000 people in this category are unvaccinated, and Ms. Motley says they remain vulnerable in more ways than one.
We issued a request last night of the Ministry of Health and the Minister to mobilize that team as a matter of urgency again. Because remember, as Jerome said, when we did not get vaccines for a few weeks, few months, in fact, longer than we'd hoped, it fell off. What we've also said, and I've asked the acting Prime Minister to make sure that we can have some cards done up that we literally can put in the house of every person over 70, because we need to remind them with the contact information, call and come forward.
The death toll from the COVID-19 virus is now 63. The latest casualty is a 53-year-old man who died on Tuesday. His COVID-19 test result received on Wednesday came back positive. He had comorbidities and was unvaccinated. Meanwhile, there are now 896 patients currently in the COVID-19 isolation facilities across the island. 161 new cases of the viral illness were recorded by the Public Health Lab out of 2,205 tests done on Wednesday. 43 of these individuals are under 18 years old. Meanwhile, 99,921 people are fully vaccinated against the virus. It appears COVID-19 is affecting the Black community more in Bermuda. Premier David Byrd also says the increasing numbers of COVID-19 patients in the territory's hospital are unvaccinated.
There are some who have asked if the government will impose stricter restrictions, such as a lockdown, to help the situation at our hospital. More restrictions, such as a lockdown, will not bring immediate relief to our doctors and nurses who are doing everything powerful within their power to save lives. The hospital is currently overwhelmed due to the events that took place 3 to 4 weeks ago, where persons were not following the regulations and public health guidance that was in place, came into contact with a positive person, and unfortunately brought the coronavirus home to their families, and then it spread further to workplace and to others. The increasing numbers in our hospital are mainly due to persons who have not yet been vaccinated with pre-existing conditions. And those persons are more susceptible to severe illness, which is caused by the coronavirus. And sadly, in Bermuda, vaccination is not evenly distributed amongst populations. And this outbreak is largely affecting the Black community.
Millions of people across the United States will soon receive their third dose of the Pfizer vaccine.
U.S. regulators approved booster shots for high-risk groups on Wednesday. Americans who are 65 and older and high-risk individuals will be eligible for a third jab. It's a scaled-down version of the Biden administration's plan to give third doses to nearly all adults. The booster can be administered 6 months after the initial 2-dose course of vaccination has been completed.
Time for a preview of what's coming up on Morning Barbados. And for that, we say good morning to Pearson Boone.
Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, everyone. When you join me at 6:30 this morning, among the people joining us will be Professor the Most Honorable Mornin Barbados. She's the lead organizer of the UNTAD 15 Forum on Gender and Development. We'll want to hear about what's on the table there and what are some of the possible outcomes expected from that forum. Also today, we want to let you know that the Barbados Breast Screening Program has received a new 3D machine, but what does that mean for breast health on the island? Dr. Shirley Jagru will join us to talk a little bit more about that. And there's a brand new band in Barbados called Hazelnut. They've just released a new song. We'll share with you that song. We'll talk a little bit more about them and the band as well. So just a teaser of what's coming up on Morning Barbados at 6:30. It's back to you, Wendy.
Well, thank you, Pearson. We'll see you at the bottom of the hour. We'll take another break and return with more news. Prime Minister Mia Motley has reiterated there was never an issue of false or fraudulent vaccines being sourced for the island. She was addressing the diaspora on the failed attempt by a Barbadian company to purchase AstraZeneca vaccines.
Not only did the fake news surround the question of us receiving Sputnik, but there is much concern as to whether the Barbadian company that was defrauded with respect to vaccines, whether the government in fact paid them any money. They have not received a single cent from the government. And we indicated straightforward, when the vaccines land, we will pay you in full. And since the vaccines have not yet landed, they were not paid in full. There was another company that was related to a world-class medical services company in Barbados, and we gave them money towards the vaccines when we realized that we were getting from others and they were not yet in a position to deliver. In spite of the fact that they do business with the country every week, they returned all of the money that's months ago. So there is no excuse for the Barbadian taxpayer to any fraudulent scheme for vaccines.
Ambassador Daniel Foote, the United States Special Envoy for Haiti, has resigned in protest of mass deportations by the U.S. of Haitians gathered on the U.S. border with Mexico.
Images captured by Al Jazeera and Reuters earlier this week showed U.S. border agents on horseback trying to force people back as they attempted to enter the country from Mexico. The U.S. Border Control Chief described their actions as unacceptable. Thousands of Haitian migrants remain in Del Rio, where the Biden administration is using a Trump-era policy to justify mass deportations back to Haiti. The U.S. Special Envoy for Haiti has quit over the treatment of Haitian migrants. In a bluntly worded resignation letter to Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Daniel Foote wrote that he will, quote, not be associated with the United States' inhumane, counterproductive decision to deport thousands of Haitian refugees and illegal immigrants to Haiti. He wrote the U.S. policy approach to Haiti remains deeply flawed, and his recommendations had been ignored and dismissed. Foote said surging migration to the U.S. borders would only grow as the U.S. adds to Haiti's unacceptable misery.
The White House press secretary really struggling to show how there is a difference between the previous administration's immigration policy and its own. And as it repeatedly, the White House press secretary was pressed by reporters who not only pointed out the images, but also pointed out the fact that since Joe Biden has taken office, the number of people at the southern border of the United States trying to cross illegally and also trapped on one side has only been growing with each consecutive month. Now, the White House press secretary did underscore that they are making steps to make the policies more humane. As you heard there, she has repeatedly stated the images of those Border Patrol agents rounding people up with horses is unacceptable. The problem for so many Americans is that this is the White House press secretary speaking on behalf of the administration, not Joe Biden. And Joe Biden campaigned for a different type of White House, one that would see an enormous amount of daylight between his policies and that of his predecessor. And the problem for so many with this story is that they're struggling to differentiate. Now, we should add to in all of this that essentially what the White House is doing is blaming everyone except themselves for what is occurring right now. The White House press secretary not only blamed the special envoy to Haiti that's resigned for not raising his issues sooner, but also blaming the human smugglers who are exploiting human misery in order to profit. So this is the challenge, that the White House has promised that this would be a kinder, gentler, more humane approach to immigration. But as we've seen in recent days, that's not been the case.
In sports, the numbers aren't in just yet, but the 2021 Hero Caribbean Premier League has surpassed last year's edition in nearly all categories. That assessment from Chief Executive Officer of the tournament, Pete Russell. In an exclusive interview with CBC Sports, Russell said the host venue, Warner Park in St. Kitts, saw 33 matches contested.
The countries where we play, a lot of it is tourism. So, and sports tourism has a huge part to play. You know,
And now for a look at our weather news. In Barbados right now, the temperature stands at 24.4 degrees Celsius and it's fair. However, it's feeling as if it's 31 degrees Celsius. The humidity stands at 87, barometric pressure 11.6 millibars. The winds are still from the south at 40 kilometers per hour. Low tide will be at 11:18 a.m. and high tide at 5:40 p.m. The seas are smooth to moderate in open water, ranging from 1 to 2 meters and increasing. Forecast: a mix of sunshine and clouds with a few brief scattered to light to moderate showers, and this will be mainly over the western and northwestern districts. Tonight, it's expected to be a mix of clear skies and clouds with the occasional brief scattered light showers. And here's now a look at the forecast in our international cities. That's it for Morning Report this morning. Our next newscast will be on TV8 at noon. We now join Pearson Bowen for Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Fantastic Friday morning to you, everyone. Good morning. It is Friday, the 24th of September, 2021. That's my name. I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming all of you in Barbados watching us on your TV screens. As usual, thank you for your company. And anyone else across the world watching us on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook streams, always grateful for your company every weekday morning. Now, coming up today, as this is the International Week of the Deaf People, we'll be able to talk to one such deaf person, Dario Nightingale. He is also the owner of his own business. We want to hear from him a little bit about the challenges of employment and a whole host more. So yes, he'll be able to talk with us this morning about his experience. Also joining us today, we'll be catching up with Kentuan Brown, who is a budding thespian. He hopes eventually to head off to the United States to further his studies in the dramatic arts. And certainly we want to be updated on him on his progress to date. But let's get started by talking about something a little bit different with the Rotaract Club of Barbados South. And we're joined this morning by Gabrielle Whitehall and Rishina Homer. They're from the Rotaract Club of South Barbados. And Stephen Mason, who is with the Extreme Body Mechanics Gym in St. Philip. Good morning, each of you.
Good morning.
All right. Now, both of you, Gabrielle, you are the Vice President, and Rishina, you're the Finance Director. Because coming up, you're having Fun Fitness Fiesta, the Journey to Fitness. Tell us a little bit about this initiative and why the Rotary Club of South Barbados is engaging in this. All right, so let's see if we can get your audio coming through. Rashina, what are you going to say to me? All right, so let's hear from you, Gabrielle. What can you tell us about the initiative?
Right. So, Fun Fitness Fiesta, this is the second year we are having Fun Fitness Fiesta. There's a mandate from Rotary International, our district is focusing on childhood obesity, and we're really trying to help in the fight against that pandemic because that is very critical. The childhood obesity has really taken over the Caribbean, and we're seeing a lot of negative implications. So Fun Fitness Fiesta is aimed at raising awareness of childhood obesity, and the proceeds is also a fundraising initiative, and the proceeds of that initiative will go towards the Diabetes and Hypertension Association.
So let's say if Rashina is back. Rashina, if you're back, can you break it down for me and show me the different steps that are going to be taken and the different goals that you've set for yourself to achieve this attack on childhood obesity? We're still having some audio issues there with you, Rashina. I'm not so sure what we'll try to get. Hello? Rashina?
Yes, so
All right, Gabrielle, you continue. We'll try to resolve
Yeah,
issues.
so
Go
right.
ahead.
So the one of the initiatives that we would have taken started with last year in conjunction with our sponsor club, the Rotary Club of Barbados South, was the Agro Kids project. This project was launched in some primary schools across the island, and the aim of that project was to really encourage students to grow their own food. So we actually went into these schools, started kitchen gardens, taught them how to farm, how to care for plants, and how to grow their crops, as well as give them instructions as to the benefits of, eating real food that grows from the earth. Because we
Yes.
know many of our children eat food that comes from a package.
Yes, yes. Processed food. So we're talking about eating real food and putting in the work to show that, to be healthy takes a little bit of work, but you can see the results from choosing to do the right thing. So you're starting from the ground and up. And so this program, Fun Fiesta Fitness, the journey to fitness, thank you. Who are you targeting with this?
This is open to all Barbadians. Our persons abroad, anybody who has an internet connection would be able to attend. The registration is online. We had to transfer to a fully online program because, as you know, due to the current situation in Barbados, it's safer to do it that way. So this year, everything is a complete online package. We will be having here at Extreme Body Mechanics Fitness Center right now, because a little later you will get a sneak peek of what will be to come tomorrow if you join us tomorrow afternoon for Fun Fitness Fiesta from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow.
So for
So
3
one of
hours.
our presenters, yes, please. So we have a warm-up session. We would have Stephen who would take us through the sofa aerobics and step aerobics, and that's what you will get a little taste of later on today. And there will also be lots of prizes and giveaways. You can even win a free gym membership.
Okay, lots of
So we
prizes and
really
give.
want, yeah.
Tell me, you finish.
Right, so we really want to encourage you to come out tomorrow and just jumpstart your fitness journey. You don't have to be a fitness expert. You don't have to be someone who attends a gym. They caters to everyone, all ages.
So, for anyone who wants to register now, let's just give them the correct URL. You're saying tinyurl.com, tinyurl.com, and you can register. It's right there on your screen, folks. tinyurl.com/funfitness21. You register. There's a small registration fee because every cent goes towards proceeds will go towards the Diabetes and Hypertension Association of Barbados. I'm encouraging as many of you as possible because there's room for you in the internet sphere. Now, Stephen is he there with you at the moment?
Yes, he's actually here conducting a class similar to what will be going on tomorrow.
Okay, you said we'll see a demonstration. Can we join him now, perhaps, and get a
We
sense
can
of?
join him very shortly. We can
Okay.
join him and see what he is going to do.
So who's
I
going to
will-
join? Are you the one who's going to move your device, or Stephen has his own device? Talk to
Yeah.
me, somebody.
Well, there's another device, but I'll be operating it.
Okay. So if Stephen is conducting the class, we can see him there. We saw him there, so we can get a sense of what it is that you'll be engaging with tomorrow. Slowing it down just a little bit. So there we go.
Yes, this is just a little sneak peek of the types of things that we'll be doing tomorrow.
So it's a fitness exercise that's good for any age range, any level of
Any
fitness,
age
all
range,
genders,
any level.
anybody.
Anybody. Once you have an internet connection, you can register and you can attend Fun Fitness Fiesta. Once you register on the link, you will receive information on how to pay just a small fee of 15 Barbados dollars, and you will be ready to go tomorrow to join us
Right.
from
All
the
posts.
comfort of your home or wherever you choose to set up your device.
All proceeds going towards the work of the Diabetes and Hypertension Association of Barbados. It sounds as if it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm not so sure what happened to Rashina. Nobody's telling me yet in my ear what's happening with her. She's the finance director, so she's the one who's going to be looking after all of the funds, and no doubt the work of the Rotaract Club of South Barbados continues. So with that happening, tell us a little bit more about the work of Rotaract Club of Barbados, South Barbados.
So, what the Rotaract Club of South Barbados is one. The Rotaract Club of South Barbados is one of 4 Rotaract clubs in Barbados, and we are part of the Rotary International Organization, which is an international organization that focuses on service. Our motto is service above self. So this year, we are one of our aims, like I told you, one of the major aims in the Caribbean, in the District 7030, which is the district for the Southern Caribbean, is to focus on childhood obesity. Actually, the district governor for this Rotaract year is from Barbados, so she is very passionate about the fight against childhood obesity in Barbados and wider Caribbean. Along with community service, our Rotaract Club also focuses on professional development and just self-building. It's for in ages 18 and over, basically young adults who come out and give of themselves, give of their service, and serve from within.
So we're asking folks today to join you on this fun fitness fiesta and on a campaign really to attack childhood obesity, because it is a very big problem for a lot of our children on the island. So we want to cut out the sweet drinks, cut out a lot of those sugary products that we use, whether it's in the snacks or the drinks and the food and so forth. Use more healthy foods, and that's all part of what you're doing as well with Rotaract Club of South Barbados, teaching children from very young and teaching adults as well the value of growing what we eat and growing healthy foods, eat literally from the tree, from the plant. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes, that is exactly what we are doing with our Agri-Place project, which is an initiative that will be continuing this year as well. Unfortunately, now that schools are gone online, we won't be able to continue in the format we previously did, but as we are flexible and have learned to adapt to the situation, we will definitely continue with Agri-Place as best we can in an online format to encourage those students the importance of healthy eating and growing their own food, so that we will have a sustainable future.
How are you tracking your goals and the outcomes of this initiative?
Well, from time to time, we would conduct various assessments to see if we are really reaching our target audience. We have received good reports from the schools, and that's why they wanted, even more schools wanted to join on to the Agri-Place project, because when they saw the success of the project at schools like West Terrace, where that was the school where it was launched at first last year, other schools have indicated an interest to join. So we really know that we are doing something good in these schools.
Well, you're doing very well. Your theme is service from within, and service from within helping those without. And certainly I want to encourage you to continue doing what you're doing, and I want to encourage everyone as well to go to tinyurl.com, tinyurl.com. I spelled every word out, trust me. TIN, it's right down the bottom of your screen, /funfitness21, and log in, sign up, because with your registration, the funds will go towards the Diabetes and Hypertension Association of Barbados, tackling childhood obesity. It is an action in which we can all be a part. And so I want to compliment you, Gabrielle Whitehall, and I wish Rashina had her matter resolved.
Yeah,
and
that's very important because she worked really hard with this project.
I could well imagine. But well done to Rotaract Clubs of South Barbados on the work you're doing, and we can only wish you much success with tomorrow's event and events going forward as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And persons can visit our Instagram page at Rotaract South BBS, so Rotaract ROTARACT South SOUTH BBS at Rotaract South Barbados. That is our Instagram and Facebook handle.
All right, so you're available on social media.
Yes, we are. You can see highlights of Fun Fitness Fiesta from last year as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Gabrielle. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Morning Barbados will continue right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we have 12 minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock here on Morning Barbados today. We just want to remind you that the Gender and Development Forum in the lead up to UNTAD starts on the 26th of September, runs until the 28th. The lead organizer is Professor the Most Honorable Udine Barbados. Now that gender forum is going to be looking at the inclusion of gender development in UNTAD because they're working towards the opportunity to identify the policies and measures needed to reach the gender equality and empower women and discuss ways how to implement it. There are going to be a number of activities happening there, and so we want to encourage you to go to untad15.org and sign up to be a part of that particular forum. It's going to run over a couple of days. There will be a high-level panel about shaping gender-responsive economies and societies, asking the question, what's the role for trade? What is your answer to that? You can join that. The objective there is that speakers will share their experiences in dealing with gender and economic issues. They will present goals achieved in the shortcoming facing or their journey, be it in policy making, advocacy, business, or research. So untad15.org, you can sign up to be a part of it. That high-level meeting is on the 27th from 4 in the afternoon, and we encourage you to be a part of that. So quite a number of distinguished speakers will be at that particular forum. So Gender and Development Forum, starting from the 26th right through to the 28th, go to untad15.org and sign up to be a part of it. Now, recently, the Royal Air Force of the UK, they've been honouring West Indian airmen, and so we came across this that we want to share with you. Take a look.
There's a good work being done at Leicester hospitals. Now, ever since the British Armed Forces have been airborne, people of African and Caribbean heritage have been flying with them. A Jamaican sergeant was piloting biplanes over France with the Royal Flying Corps as early as 1917.
Well, the RAF Museum at Cosford in Shropshire believes the accomplishment of black personnel has gone unrecognised, so they're putting on an exhibition dedicated to them. It's called Pilots of the Caribbean. Its launch coincides with this year's Black History Month, as Callum Watkinson reports.
Black in blue. The Royal Air Force Museum in Cosford is marking Black History Month with a new exhibition telling the story of the thousands of black people who have served in the RAF.
I was in for 36 years, man and boy, serving Her Majesty. I did my first year in Northern Ireland as a young 18-year-old. I traveled all the continents. It was really a very good education in terms of learning about other people, the way they live, what they achieve.
And he does agree with the curators of this exhibition that these men and women's stories need a more prominent retelling.
I actually go out in the community now on a regular basis. And even my own black people are saying, one said to me last week, I didn't know black people had medals like you've got on your chest. How did you get those? Yeah. Somebody else said to me, I thought the poppy was just for the white man. I didn't know it was for the black man. So education is needed.
It's a surprise that there were so many. It's a surprise that they did so much. It's a surprise we didn't know it. And we, this time last year, didn't know the story either. We have learned. One of the things we have learned, and we've been delighted to discover, is how progressive the Royal Air Force was in the 1940s, decades before legislation was in place in the workplace in civil life.
Arrivals at Tilbury. The Empire Windrush brings to Britain 500 Jamaicans.
The arrival of the Empire Windrush in 1948 is generally seen as the start of Caribbean migration to Britain. What is perhaps less well known is that fully a third of the people on board were former airmen coming to re-enlist.
Now, you're ex-Air Force, aren't you?
Yes.
Are you going back into the Air Force again?
Yes.
Did you know if you'll be accepted?
I think so.
They went down the gangplank, disappeared for a few years, and then re-emerged as leaders in the black community, laying the foundations. People like Sam King, MBE, who became the first black mayor of Southwark, and he started the partner scheme that permitted black families to buy their own houses.
And some returned to their countries of origin to achieve great things there. The mutual respect between them and the Air Force neatly summarised on Errol Barrow's gravestone. In memory of Flying Officer Errol Walton Barrow, it reads, Navigator, Royal Air Force, World War II, and Prime Minister of Barbados. The exhibition at Cosford will run for a year. Callum Watkinson, ITV News.
Fascinating exhibition, and I love the name of it, Pilots of the Caribbean.
It's very clever,
very
isn't
catchy.
It?
Yeah.
I like the way they've got all, for that last man that we heard about, they've got the Prime Minister bit right at the end. That comes after the RAF.
Yes.
Just shows, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now.
Big salute there to the pilots of the Caribbean, ending with one of our national hero, the right excellent Errol Walton Barrow there. So, but you know, we're moving towards becoming a republic. So a lot of that, the Royal Air Force, a lot of that will change. We want to also continue to remind you that the workshop for the forum looking at gender and equality, there's going to be a workshop on the 28th of this month. The structure of that will be quite simple, quite engaging indeed, but some of the areas that they're looking at will include UNTAD's capacity building initiative to trade and gender perspectives in trade facilitation forums, better data for gender inclusive trade policy, the e-trade for women and women entrepreneurship. So it's going to be quite wide-ranging and quite involving as well. The encouraging thing is that you are invited to be a part of it, and particularly women to join in this one as well. It's going to be led by Professor the Most Honourable Mornin Barbados, and certainly she has quite a vast experience in gender policy herself, being quite well known for having researched and worked in that area for much of her career. So we encourage you to go to untad15.org and participate in that. We are going to prove the relevance of including a gender focus in a conference that usually focuses on trade and development, because UNTAD, by its definition, looks at economic issues, but economic issues cannot be divorced from social issues. And so that's the force and the word of Professor Mornin Barbados. Now, climate adaptation and fit sustainability, rising inequality, persistent power imbalances, COVID-19, repositioning gender to address inequality. Those are some of the areas that the themes that they will be attacking in this upcoming forum on gender and development, all part of the lead up to UNTAD 15, which starts in earnest on October the 3rd. Right here, it's a big global conference. Barbados is at the center of it, it being the host country. Now, it's 5 minutes to go to 7 o'clock, and as you do know, we want to encourage you to consider how you behave within this COVID-19 pandemic. Part of that behavior is what we want to show you now in this.
Charmaine, I come to pick up the trash for the evening.
Wait, Miss B, you know you ain't had to do that too.
Charmaine, you know that I like to take care of you too, so what are you worrying about?
I could have do that myself. My one thing about you is make sure I eat on time, and I ain't here working too hard. And you see, Miss B, that everybody in the office acknowledging the COVID-19 protocols that you talked to me about.
That is true. I seen it, and I thank you very much. Girl, Charmaine, I just make sure I take care of myself. I just eat properly, exercise, get my ample amount of rest. I just follow the protocols, and of course, I get my 2 vaccines to protect myself and my family. So I feel real good.
Wait, Miss B, you get your 2 vaccines?
Of course.
Let me talk to you about something before you go on, though, Miss B. You got a minute?
Sherman, you know I always got a minute for you too. What happened, darling?
But now you say that you fully vaccinated. I got a confession to make. You know I ain't get my vaccine yet. Sure, I don't know how you get it, do, Miss B. I hearing all kinds of things on social media that the vaccine got in a microchip and a magnet, and people know where your age and they can follow you about. I so confused, I don't know what to do.
I mean, a lot of people like you, they're confused with all the information about there, right? And I was just as confused as you too. But what I decided I can do is that I am going to only listen to reputable sources for my information. So I just listen to my doctor, I just listen to the local medical team here, the World Health Organization, Pan American Health Organization, and the Caribbean Public Health Agency for my information about COVID and the vaccine.
Miss B, I know all of that, but the people on the social media sound like experts.
They might sound like experts, but a lot of misinformation on that social media and all about the internet here will tell you. So what I just do is I only listen to the right people. People ain't taking the information that is correct, and they're refusing to do the right things. Sharma, you think I just sit down and listen to somebody halfway around the world who ain't got no training, right, in infectious diseases, in medical field, or somebody about here in Barbados doing a video in them backyard as opposed to listen to the experts? Not me, Charmaine.
Well, you might be right. So then you think, Miss B, that the vaccine safe?
Put it this way. The World Health Organization, they are the body who does approve vaccines, and they have approved the COVID-19 vaccine. So I believe that it is safe. But what you should do is if you're too sure, right, you can talk to your doctor about the vaccine and they will explain to you. Vaccines have been around for years, right? And vaccines have saved people's lives. Vaccines have eradicated diseases. So talk to your doctor if you're too sure.
But you think then that I should get the vaccine, even though if I take the vaccine, I might still get COVID-19 or have side effects?
Well, the medical people did say that it is no secret. But what they also said is that being fully vaccinated increases your chances of surviving COVID. It means that you won't become critically ill. There will be no need for no hospitalization. There wouldn't even need for no ventilator. And it could save your life. So I would take my chances with the vaccine.
What are you saying? It sounds logical. It sounds wise. Miss B, it sounds like common sense.
Easy as 1, 2, 3. But in relation to if you should take the vaccine, Charmaine, that is a personal matter. Vaccines ain't mandatory, right? But they also say if you ain't sure again, talk to your doctor, right? So you're going to talk to yours. He know your medical history, so do it. I talk to mine, and I take my 2 vaccines, and I feel happy.
You might be right, you know, Miss B. I done watching all them videos that go on social media listening to chips and magnets and microchips. I only listening to reputable sources. Once I talk with you, I always feel good, Miss.
Well, that's what I'm here for, you know, darling. And listen, in relation talking about chips, if you want some chips, I will fry them for you. Just tell me. All right. You have a good evening here, darling. All right.
Of working together, each one reach one indeed. Stay with us. Morning Barbados will continue with the news right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, time for us to take a look at the news. Once again, here's Wendy Burke.
Thank you, Pearson. Since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, there's been an increase in substance abuse among addicts and individuals who generally refrain from using intoxicating products. This is according to therapist and counselor at the Substance Abuse Foundation, Inc., Nicolette Williams. She says some individuals have been seeking treatment at Verdun House and Marina House. Ms. Williams was a guest on CBC TV8's Face It and Fix It.
The pandemic has allowed persons to use more, whether alcohol, gambling, or even using narcotics. We have also had persons while in treatment be still affected by the pandemic, where it has increased their anxiety or their depressive symptoms as well. So it goes both hand in hand. Persons on the outside reaching out because they're no longer with a job, they're not able to handle their families well, their self-esteem is very low, so they cling to the drugs. And then we have some males and females while in treatment who sometimes are unable to go out to their children or even back out to work.
Meanwhile, Renee Napoleon, program manager at the Substance Abuse Foundation, Inc., revealed intervention services are provided for those unwilling to accept help from family members.
Families are welcome to call and reach out to us as well. Up to Sunday, we had a webinar dealing with families and addiction and how to reach out to the Substance Abuse Foundation. Within that, we are also able to do family interventions. Sometimes you may not want to listen to your loved one or your close friend or your partner. So we are able to, provide interventions and help families guide their loved ones.
Come October 2nd, Governor General of Barbados, Dame Sandra Mason, will be conferred an honorary Doctor of Laws degree by the University of the West Indies Capefield campus at a special convocation. The honor comes in recognition of her outstanding contribution to public service. Dame Sandra is one of 4 eminent regional citizens to be honored in October by the UWI Capefield campus, with 3 others receiving their recognition during this year's graduation ceremony on October 23rd. She will receive the scroll during a virtual ceremony. A call has been made to review the removal of the tax allowance on retirement funds. It has come from Vice President for Pensions at Sagicor Life Barbados Incorporated, Stephen Robinson, during an update to the media on the recent performance of the company's equity and bond funds. The insurance official recalls the allowance was removed in 2015.
The social security programs cannot do it on their own. We as individuals need to play a part. And if we're fortunate enough to be working in organizations that offer pension plans, we certainly should, as employees, take advantage of the fact that our employer is offering the pension plan, join them and make the contributions. And for employers who may not be able to offer pension plans at this time because of, obviously there are, you have to determine how you're going to spend your capital. Certainly the appropriate time comes, definitely consider pension as an important use for that capital.
Meanwhile, the company's executive vice president and general manager, Paul Innes, wants diversification of investment opportunities in Barbados.
Renewable energy is one, but there are other aspects of the market within Barbados and the wider region that can be developed, which will create and present some additional investment opportunities. And once those investments are made and developed, then it widens and opens opportunity for investments, both from an individual and institutional perspective.
And that's news. It's back to you now, Pearson, for Morning Barbados.
Thank you, Wendy. The time is now 6 minutes after 7 o'clock. We are going to take a break here, but you know what comes right after the break, right? Yes, Crumbs question of the day. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 7.5 minutes after 7 o'clock. Time for today's Crumbs question of the day. Time for you to call me on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Those are the only two numbers to call for today's Crumbs question of the day. Look at that. What is the cost of a beef burger and fries at Crispy Fried Chicken? What is the cost of a beef burger and fries at Crispy's Fried Chicken? Do you know? What is it? How much does it cost, really? What is the cost of a beef burger and fries at Crispy Fried Chicken? Let's see if Melda gets through. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Come. You know the answer, I'm sure you do. So tell me, what's the cost of a beef burger and fries at Crispy Fried Chicken? Remember, there are only two branches. I think by now you do know. So let's get on the phone. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Where are you watching us from today?
I'm watching from Christchurch, please.
Christchurch. What's your answer?
I will say about $13.
That's a rough estimate?
Yes, a rough estimate.
You've been there before, Crispy Fried Chicken?
No, please, I haven't.
Oh, so you haven't gotten into Fairchild Street or to Speightstown yet?
No, please.
Well, that's a rough estimate. So if you were to make and to sell a beef burger with fries, that's roughly what you would sell it for? $13?
Yeah, roughly, because normally I guess a beef burger will normally cost about $10.95.
Okay.
And yeah, probably the fries are.
You were throwing $3 in chips. I'll call it $13. No, my brother, you are so wrong. Thank you for trying, though.
Okay,
nope, he's not right. Good man. You too. Thank you so much, Mr. Christchurch. 228-5562, 228-5563. The only numbers to call to answer this question. How much does it cost? Really? What's the cost of a beef burger and fries at Crispy Fried Chicken? Two branches. You know the branches now. Fairchild Street and Speightstown. So what's the cost of a beef burger and fries at Crispy Fried Chicken? $13 is not right. Nope, don't ask me if it's more or less. That is for you to decide for me now. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, where are you watching us from?
St. Thomas.
St. Thomas. Good to have you this morning. How old are you?
10.
10. So you should know the answer. What's the answer for me?
$12.99.
$12.99?
Yes, please.
Did you go and did you buy it at $12.99?
Yes, please.
You went to Crispy's already?
Yes, please.
And you bought a burger and fries, and you didn't buy anything else?
And the chicken.
And oh, so you bought burger, fries, and chicken, and you spent $12.99?
Yes, please.
That's a very good value for all of that. But that's not the answer I'm looking for. Okay?
Yes, please.
All right, go and get ready for school now. Don't forget, school is on today. Thank you so much for calling, though. All righty. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Close to $13 he was too, you know. So 228-5562 or 63. What is the cost? Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, where are you watching from?
St. James.
St. James, y'all are flowing through, boy. So talk to me. What's the answer?
$12.
Laws. Look at you. So how you arrive at $12?
Because it's $12. I bought one already.
No. Oh, you got one already?
Yeah.
And you spent $12?
$12.
And you get money change?
No.
So therefore it must be $12, right?
Yeah, it must be $12.
You know, I'll give it to you because it's $11.99. And since we don't give back 1 cent, you didn't get back any change. You're right. So it's $11.99. Well done. So when did you go to Crispy to get your burger and fries?
On Saturday.
Oh, Saturday just gone?
Yes.
This sounds like a Saturday treat for you, crispy fried chicken.
Yeah, it is.
I love it. What's your first name?
Taria.
Taria?
Yes.
That's an interesting name. Where did that name come from? Do you know?
No, I'm not sure.
But you have to blame mommy and daddy for that. You know that.
I know.
All right, Taria, you stay on the phone. We would need to take some other information from you. So well done. She's absolutely right, I think. $11.99, $12, give or take. $11.99. Taria got it right. And so we want to thank Taria and all of you for trying this one. Don't forget, try Crispies today. Make it like her, your weekend treat, if it's nothing else. And enjoy. That's it for today's Crumbs question of the day. We're coming back after this with more on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 15 minutes after 7 o'clock now. We turn our attention to a little bit more serious subject now. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so we want to connect right now with the breast screening program and the medical coordinator, Dr. Shirley Jagru, to look at that, what's coming up, and also to introduce you to a brand new machine. Some great news she's going to share with us this morning. Dr. Jagru, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. It's great to be here.
Thank you for joining us. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I know that you do a lot of screening in that month, but there's a pandemic on, and so face-to-face personal visits are in some. How has that been impacted by the pandemic, your ability to do your services?
Well, we have tried to promote it because, Pearson, the awareness is very important. Because of the awareness, more lives are being saved because more people are coming for screening. So it has impacted financially and in the number of patients coming, or I should say clients, coming for screening. But we've tried to encourage people to come because, you know, granted, the pandemic is here, but we still have to remember that breast cancer is the most common cause of death from cancer in Barbadian women. And this program objective is to save lives by early detection. So we work on the early detection, and this is why our vision the past 3 years has become a reality. The new machine, top of the line, state of the art, oh my gosh, everything that you can think about it. Everything. It's
obviously
worth what we've paid. Yeah, I mean, we're ecstatic.
Yes.
I honestly can't express how happy we are that we've been able to fulfill that promise we made. In actual fact, the breastfeeding program has, not because I'm part of it, but because we have a dedicated group of subcommittee members. These women, some are retired and some are quite young. They have put so much effort into the program to make it what it was. I also would like to thank CIBC, Gildan, and our corporate sponsors for bringing us to where we are. When we started in 2002, we just had the basic mammogram machine, which is an analog, along with a basic ultrasound. That was when we set up. But every 5 years from then to now, we have been able to upgrade with what is on the market for early detection. And this, well, 2 days ago, we have now set up with the breastfeeding program the cutting edge, state of the art, 3D Pristina sonogram machine. Now, this is so patient friendly that the women would love it. You know the way people complain all the time about discomfort and that the breast is being squashed? This does not happen because with this one, first of all, it was designed by a woman. Okay, but this one, the patient has some control over the compression. And the compression is necessary because the radiation, the x-rays have to pass through the breast. And if the breast tissue is dense, then it's a lot more difficult. But with this machine, the patient has a control in her hand. So she's able to control the amount of compression. The operator places the breast where it has to go, in between the paddles. And then the patient has a control in her hand, and she's able to adjust it according to the amount of pressure or compression that she can tolerate. And in actual fact, they found with this machine, the patients tend to overcompress. I mean, they compress more than they necessarily.
Yeah, ought to.
It's really patient friendly. In actual fact, it's the most patient friendly mammogram machine on the market today.
Right. How different is it in terms of diagnosing any change in tissue, though? Because it's 3D, do you now get to see much more than you traditionally would have?
Yeah, excellent question, because it works differently. You know, with the regular mammogram, you just have x-rays that go from from your face to your feet. And then again, from one shoulder to the other. Okay? Now with this one, that's just 4 exposures. Now with this, the machine, the top of it, which I hope you'll show it in a few minutes, the top of this machine moves. So the patient is placed there with the breast between the paddles, and then the top of the machine scans from one side right over. That's if you're doing one breast. It just does one breast at a time. It starts from one end, say one shoulder, and the machine moves slowly across to the other shoulder. So therefore, it's taking about 20 to 30 at what we call slices or x-rays as it's moving along. Now this removes the problem that we have with about 70% of women, which is they have dense breast tissue, and particularly if you're below 50. So when the machine moves like that and it's taking slices of x-rays as it moves along, the radiologist now is able, with the 3D help, to analyze what's going on between the dense breast tissue.
Yes.
So we were able to diagnose smaller lesions and lesions that would have been difficult to see before. So we're hoping that this would make a great difference with early diagnosis, because you know, with early diagnosis, lives are being saved.
Yes.
And we still don't know the exact cause of breast cancer today. But what we do know, and this is universal, that with early detection, so much more can happen. So
Absolutely.
This will help the radiologist in his diagnosis. And women, it is women, if you're terrified, I mean, all the statistics show that the fear and anxiety associated with mammogram, and I haven't done mammogram myself for 10 years. I know what it's like. The other thing about it too, which is very important, men, it has a paddle that can accommodate very, very small breasts to very large. It can do anything. It has a number of different shape paddles. It can be used for women who have implants and with the no scare of the implants being squished. And that today women would have mastectomy, remove breasts, and then they would have implants put in. So they can be followed up very carefully. And men can have their mammogram done very easily. The other thing too, which is very important, is that women tend to complain, and I know I'm one of those. We have to get as far up under the arm to make sure there are no glands. Now this machine has rounded edges, and so the machine can actually go right up under the arm with less discomfort.
Right.
So we're really looking forward to this machine being on the market as soon as possible. Everything is there, set up. It cost us just under $1 million, but we were able to raise this money from the walk, from walks, and from corporate Barbados and donations, and the women of Barbados who went out there and collected money, sold things. It's just been amazing. So unfortunately, we have not been able to have walks for the last 2 years, but the awareness is important.
Yes.
And we're trying really hard at this point in time. The subcommittee members that I've already said are amazing. They're out there trying to do so many things. You know what we're going to have in October? The pink drink, which is amazing.
The pink drink?
Yes. And please look for it. We're going to have a website, which is supposed to be up and running shortly, which is something we've never had. And that's being donated by a very kind donor. People have been amazingly good towards this program. That's why it's so successful.
I'm curious now. I know you have the pink ribbon, and very shortly here on Morning Barbados, we'll be working closer with you to give someone a grand prize by spotting the pink ribbon. But now the pink drink, and I'm curious as to the ingredients in that pink drink.
Well, it would vary from one restaurant to another.
Okay.
I think there's about 30 restaurants that have come on board, which is really great. And then there's some pastry shops, Crumbs and Purity and a few others. They are going to do various pink cakes and pastries. Purity is about to launch one in another week, especially for breast cancer awareness. You see, this awareness has made a difference over the years. The walk made a humongous difference.
Yes.
People become more aware of the fact that this cancer is there and we need to do something about it. And if it's diagnosed early, the patient, some of them have been there for 20 years with us, and they're survivors. Because if it's diagnosed early, you see, Chris, and what will happen is that they have almost 100% success rate of survival.
Yes,
so this is what we want. And this is done in the bigger countries. The other thing is this machine only, it's a General Electric one, and they're very good for imaging and mammograms. And this came on the market in 2017. I saw it in 2018 in Orlando and fell in love with it. And since I came back, I said, we have to do this, we have to do this. And between 2018 and 19, we were able to raise enough funds. Corporate Barbados has been very, very, CBC, of course, the media, all these people have helped us with the awareness.
Part of this society together. Now, just give us broadly some of the other services offered by the Barbados Breast Screening Program, because I know you mentioned men can come forward also for their mammograms, and men raise eyebrows and say, "What? We have to do that too?" Explain to them. Explain to men why.
Okay. Well, men, we don't need to screen you with mammograms, so relax. Having to do the prostate, I know is bad enough, but we're not ready to pressure into this. But what we want you to do, and have no fear, is that for you to check your breasts. Just pass your hand there. It's easier to find something in a male breast than to find it in a female. And so if you find anything, a little lump, a little seed, anything at all that is in one breast and it's not in the other, that's the little secret. Come immediately to us. You don't have to go to your doctor to be referred, because we have nurses there every day and they just spend the time examining breasts. So that meant, I hope this will relieve your anxiety. The other thing is, if you find something under your arm, you know, like a little lump under the arm, that's something that you could pay attention to. And then only after you find that, you come to us, and we will then probably do the mammogram or an ultrasound or both. Okay. So the other things that we have at the breast screening program, in actual fact, we have almost everything for early detection. We have one, you come in, you have your mammogram done, you have your breast examination, and you're taught how to examine your breast. Face to face, one by one. Even though COVID is there, we try to do that face to face. The nurse takes all the particular precautions with all the protocols, and so we do for the patients. And then we also have ultrasounds of the breast. Ultrasound directed biopsies. That means if something is found on ultrasound, it can be biopsied using the ultrasound. Because not everything that is seen on the mammogram is seen on the ultrasound. And what's seen on the ultrasound might not be seen on the mammogram. You can also have a mammogram directed biopsy. That means you have biopsy. Because not everything is felt by the hand. So you have to use this equipment to guide you. Using your hand for the examination, using the breast for hands for examination helps. But if you find anything, these are the things we do. Then apart from that, we have an operating theater where we can do all the biopsies. So everything that is there for early detection, is there. So we encourage you as soon as you find anything. And apart from finding something and then coming along, you should still check your breast every month after your period. If you're not having a period, then check it sometime during the month. And men, just pass your hand around it. And you know, we found that women have a few times, because the men have found something in the breast and said, you know, I find something there, check the other side, doesn't find it. We've had women that came because their spouses or partners have told them there's something in the breast.
Right. Early detection is the critical thing. There's now a new 3D machine, which makes it a lot less painful. It's an exciting moment in time for the breast screening program, and we want to encourage as many people as possible to avail themselves of the services. You know, the early detection gives you a greater chance for survival, and that's what's most important. Dr. Shirley Jagru, thank you so much for joining us. We're just days away from the start of Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, but I know there's a lot more we can talk about, and we will be talking about as we lead into October as well. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Quickly before we go, we are launching our jingle today too.
Oh, really?
We have a beautiful jingle for awareness. See, we don't have the walk. We're trying to find all sorts of things to you know, bring the awareness and keep the awareness going.
Well, we'll listen
and
out.
then at the end of the month, we're going to have a pink something at Dyken Griffith. The pink. Anyway, it's an exercise program.
If I know Betty Lynch, she'll tell me all about it. So don't worry, we'll tell everybody about all that's coming up as well. So thank you, Dr. Jagru. We got to leave it right there.
Thanks again.
You're very welcome. There's going to be a pink drink, pink ribbon. You know, you're hearing about pink pastries. A whole host of things are going to be happening, all part of the excitement of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, raising awareness. Don't forget that 3D machine. Check them out today. All right, a break, and we're coming back with more on Morning Barbados this Friday morning.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 27 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. This is the International Week of Deaf People, and so we wanted to talk to one. But we also have with us this morning Dario Nightingale, who is deaf, but also the owner of D-Scope, and Bonnie Leonce, my friend, who is his interpreter today. Morning, both of you. Oh, do that again for me. Huh?
I come under.
I gotcha. Gotcha. Well done. Dario, you're deaf. It's been our immense pleasure to meet you this morning. How has life been for you with deafness?
Okay, my life is a challenge. There's some challenges, but there have been some positives as well. For example, I grew up deaf. I was born deaf. And my mother knew just a little bit of sign language. You know, she tried to have some communication going, but you know, with patience and a lot of progress and over time. Hold a sec. My picture is also in Dario's picture, so some of his signs are being cut off.
Okay.
So I can't see. I'm seeing myself twice.
Right, so let's see if we can help you here now.
Okay.
What was Dario saying?
Okay, let me continue. Yes, I've had some challenges. There have been some challenges, but there's also been some developments. I went to school for the deaf. There's some learning, socialized with some of my friends. You know, I've gone to workshops. I've had the opportunity to travel, even though I'm deaf. You know, I've had many things. But, you know, you really want a higher education. Have not been able to do that, but I'm still continuing with my own development. Now that I'm an adult, I have some responsibilities where I have started my own business of craft, making coconut out of coconut shells. I'm also involved in media with video recording, and I have a lot of support from the deaf community, so that's good as well.
I recognize some of what he just said when he put his hand to his eye. That's a video. I got that part. That was great. So here you are now, Dario. You own your business, D-Scope. You know, when you grew up, you became that man. Naturally, looking for employment became a bit of a challenge. Tell us a little bit about how inclusive Barbados has been to people like you who are deaf.
Okay, half and half. Some people accept us, you know, but there are some organizations who are pretty accepting of deaf people, and they try to support us and try to aid in our progress. But some people have challenges, but we just try to be patient with them.
A lot of times people think people like yourself who are deaf should only do certain kinds of work. Do you agree with that? And what would you want us, other people, to be able to know about deaf people so that we include you in anything and every form of work?
Yes, we want full inclusion where it comes to job opportunities. We want to be seen as the same, deaf and hearing. What's the difference? We're all human. We want to be involved. We use our eyes. We have skills. We're very visual. And we work so much. There's so much that we can do. We watch, we understand, we copy, you know, but we need hearing people to be more open-minded so that they'll be able to respect us. I don't want people to say that people can't. No, that's a very closed-minded approach. You want your mind to be open, and we want you to see that deaf people have skills, and they use their eyes, and they're able to do any job which is presented to them.
But then, in terms of your customer base, you know, people would look at you and think, you know, he's deaf, so I'm not so sure he could provide me the services I want. How do you break that down so that people understand that the products that you offer are just as good as, and that your business is a legitimate business and we should take your services?
Okay, so, you know, for me, convincing is more of a friendly approach. You know, I just ask for respect. Once we start with respecting each other, for example, my deaf business, I try to interact with people. I try to maybe teach them a little sign they want. I try to understand what they're saying, and they try to understand. And you know, we figure it out. I show each other. I show them what I am capable of, and people are very curious, and they are like, oh, maybe you can come and work for me. That's the way. Maybe convincing them in a little steps so that their minds begin to open a bit more and they're more accepting to the deaf community and then become more inclusive.
Have you considered employing other people who are deaf to be a part of your business de-scope?
I haven't thought about it as yet. I just want to improve my business first, develop it some more, and then maybe I can teach other deaf people, you know, for example, about video and photography, and those who are maybe interested, I can help train them, and then they can better themselves, and maybe they can set up their own business, and you know, show the world that they can as well, not just work for me, but to have their own stuff.
I am so happy to have met you today, Dario Nightingale. Congratulations on your business. Congratulations on everything you've been able to achieve so far. You know, hearing what Bonnie's is telling us that you're saying, it's clear to all of us that your head is in the right space. And we want to support you in your business. We want to really make a success out of you. So for anyone watching this morning who wants to know more about de-scope and to access some of the products that you offer, how can we contact you to get that?
Okay, I'm on Facebook and Instagram as de-scope. Instagram, Facebook. Hold a minute. Facebook is. Okay, so Facebook is de-scope. And you could just check de-scope. Or I have some cards here. Not sure where I'll leave them.
Right.
I'm sorry, it's pretty, you can't see much of it now, but I do have business cards as well, and I'm also on Instagram. Just look for de-scope. Also, there's some other deaf people who have some businesses as well, and you can contact me, and I can also show you some things. But we know we wanted to have a deaf expo, and we're hoping to have that in November. We've had to delay it. We want to show people about some deaf skills that some deaf people have, and you know, not only deaf people but coders, that's children of deaf adults, and so different various skills that they have, so that we will introduce Barbados to our culture, so that they'll be able to see and understand that deaf people can. And you know, I just want to show you something short. This is something
nice.
that I would have done out of coconut shells. So I have different
beautiful.
key rings, different.
Yes.
There are there's many more things I have, many more crafts and products, but it's not only me, but my wife as well. She helps me as well with some of the artistry, some of the painting, you know, and you know, when it comes to, you know, all the carpentry and making the carvings and crafting, we're in this together.
Oh, that is so beautiful, Dario. I can't wait for people to really get to it. I like the fact that there's going to be a Deaf Expo showing all that you can do to show that you are just as able as every one of us. So I'm excited about that. So please remember us when that time is drawing near in November to help us help you.
Okay, for sure. Thank you.
But listen, don't run yet, because I heard you say that you're married. Tell me a little bit about, is your wife also deaf, or is she also deaf?
She's hard of hearing. Not fully deaf, she's hard of hearing.
Okay. So
So she's not profoundly deaf, but hard of hearing.
All right, so, but you're doing very well together. So Dario Nightingale, congratulations on everything you've achieved thus far. We want to show people right after we wrapped up here a little bit more about your business. Bonnie Leonce, as always, thank you so much, my friend, for joining us to help us understand better. And I know, Bonnie, you can talk to us a little bit about the value of sign language and learning that next language so we can also communicate with others within our society. Talk to me a little bit about that, Bonnie.
Okay, so in this week especially, so you know it's International Week of Deaf People, and it's really important that people understand that the world is becoming more inclusive, and people need to understand that it's not common or standard anymore to have an okay, I can't communicate, so that's it. You're deaf. You're not included. We have to make the effort, and Barbados is not by itself. We are part of a community. Barbados is part of the world. So the world is watching us.
Yes.
And, you know, paying attention to us here in Barbados. But really, it's about the human aspect of it. People want to be included. Everyone wants to be included.
Right.
So, you know, learning how to sign, simple things like good morning.
Yes, I got it.
You know, hello.
Yes, hello.
Thank you. You know, easy things, and deaf people appreciate your effort. You know, they don't want you to be really a skilled person.
Yes.
You know, that will help, but to show that you're trying, that's important.
You know, we teach French, we teach Spanish, we teach all sorts of foreign languages, and yet the people who live among us, we're never taking the time to teach their language as well, sign language. How important do you think it is that we introduce from a very early age sign language to our curriculum?
I think it's really important. I've been saying that for many, many years. Deaf people have been saying it for many years. It's important. And before people come at me and say, you know, we teach sign language as an extracurricular activity after school, that's not what I mean. We want it to be a formal subject taught formally in school. Deaf people are among us, and possibly you would meet a deaf person before a person that speaks other languages.
You're right.
That are taught in schools. So it's really important, and for me, it's not only about the signing or the language, but it's a human aspect. When we learn to sign, we are including other people as well. So it's not, you're giving them an opportunity. So it's not just about learning a language and, you know, feeling smart.
Yes.
But you're doing two things at the same time. You're learning to sign, and you're helping to become more inclusive to a community that people often just push aside.
Push aside. You know, we could talk about this forever. You have me trembling with excitement indeed. Thank you so much, Dario. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for joining us this morning. Don't forget me when it comes to the Deaf Expo in November. Make sure you keep us in touch with what's happening there. Thanks, both of you.
Okay, I will give you the information. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Have a good day now. As we go to break, take a look at what D-Scope offers. Look at that. Some of the buses, the replica buses done for, oh, look at that, the green monkey. Isn't this beautiful? This is part of the work and the craftsmanship of Dario Nightingale of D-Scope, the windmill, as we know it there in St. Andrew. The windmill. And these are key rings. These are little tokens. The chattel house, which is a part of our landscape and our culture and our heritage. The boats on our seas captured by Dario Nightingale, the owner of D-Scope. And these are all available. Remember, you can find them on Facebook and Instagram. That picture, that hibiscus looks so real. A coconut looks so real, I am telling you. But he also does videography and a whole host of things as well. Sand in that coconut shell. If you're getting married, that's another way of presenting your rings. This is beautiful indeed. D-Scope on IG, D-Scope246, on Facebook, D-Scope1. They provide key rings, bowls, pen holders, jewelry, and a whole lot more. This is how we celebrate who we are. This is how we acknowledge who we are, and this is how we include everyone in our society. Remember, this is International Week of the Deaf, and there's Dario at work, at skill, taking some images and for videography at a wedding engagement. He's busy. Let's keep him busy. Dario Nightingale. We're coming back after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
when we talk about the value of school, we mean the value of school, because it was while at the St. Michael's School, these three guys got together and decided they were going to form a band. And ever since 2016, that's what they've been doing, playing their music. We're happy this morning to introduce you to the band Hazelnut. And joining us is the band member Jake Gill and Michelle Minard. Good morning, both of you.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good
Thank
morning.
you so much.
Hey.
Hazelnut. Tell me about the name. Why did you guys call yourselves Hazelnut?
Well, you know,
Jake, want to take that? Yeah.
It's a funny story. We were looking for band names, and we came across. I came across the name Hazelnut online, just searching different things, and I found out that hazelnuts are a rich source of vitamin E, which is the key that we play most of our songs in. So I said, you know what? It just makes sense.
I thought you were into the chocolates, you know, the hazelnut chocolate. And that's there you are. But ever since 2016, you've been making great music. So the philosophy behind the band Hazelnut, let's talk a little bit about that, Michelle. Tell me a little bit about what it is that you do and what makes you so distinctly different from any other band on the island right now.
Well, what do? We love prog rock. So if any person doesn't know, progressive rock is like a mixture of rock and like fast moving lines and music like that. So we love that genre. So we took that genre and we fused it with other genres like gospel, like R&B, like soca. So that really makes us stand apart, and we use like a lot of those ideas in our songwriting and playing, and we love it, and no one else does it. So that is definitely what stands us apart, what sets us apart from the rest.
How many members are there in the band, Jake? Because I saw the video, and we're going to share a little bit about that a little later on. But how many people comprise Hazelnut?
Hazelnut as a core band right now is 4 people. However, we have taken on an extra. Yeah, that's the 4 of us. We've just been putting together since school days. But we've had other people come on through the years.
Yes.
Different bassists and different keyboardists and whatnot. So.
You know, I got to see the song Face Down, and I love the location to begin with. Where was it shot?
That was actually the National Botanical Gardens.
Thank you.
The stadium.
I thought it was so brilliant. I wanted to find out where it was I need to do a shoot there myself. So that's in the National Botanical Gardens. Face Down. Yeah. Tell us about the song Face Down before we share a little bit about it.
Yeah, the song, it was really written from a place of just my response to God's love, or just anyone's response to that. Like, the first verse is really talking about how he pursues us and he never leaves us, and then the chorus is really just total surrender. Like, God, I give everything to you, and I trust my life with you, and I'm turning away from everything else. So
it's so good to hear you young people say that, you know, to know that you acknowledge who God is and what God means, and, you know, where God sits in your life as well. So, Michelle, just know we showed the picture, you saw yourselves and you laughed. What happened?
Because that is an old photo. That's quite an old photo, but I remember it very fondly as well, because we all had came over to actually practice, and we were practicing on I have a small balcony, and we were practicing on the balcony, and we were just like, yeah, let's take this photo, guys, and we were like, yeah. So that was the idea behind it, and every time I look at it, it's just memories, man.
Oh, that's great. That is great. The memories indeed. And the memories will flow because you're now on your journey. And so we want to introduce everyone to Hazelnut. I love the song. I love the message behind the song. I love the videography to the song. It is just great to know that you young people are coming through in the way that you're coming through and performing very, very well. Great vocals as well. Well done, Jake. What's the young lady's name?
Her name is Shanice John, also known as Skype. And I also just want to give a big shout out to Shakori Thompson.
Yes, sir.
You find him at RKT.cinema. He did an amazing job with the video, and he's just been a really great friend to have along the journey.
It is beautiful. So where can we access this music? Where can we get it?
Mash?
Oh yeah, okay. So you can view it on all platforms. So that is Instagram, it's streaming on Spotify, it is on YouTube, obviously, the video, It's on Deezer, it's on Apple Music, it's on Amazon Music, it's on all the platforms. So any platform, any platform that is your preference that you like to use, it's there.
Yes.
Trust me, it's there.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
Hazelnut, we commend this band to you. Give them a listen. Go any platform and you get the song Face Down. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it just as much as I have. The video is stunning. Well done, both of you. Well done to the entire band. We look forward to hearing much more from you, Hazelnut. Thank you so much. Jake and Machelle, all the best.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So much so. Thank you, guys. Face Down is the name of the song. Check it out today. We have to go. I want to thank you so very much. Oh, by the way, Zai Social, that social webinar by Zai Social is happening today at 6:30. Remember, you can learn more on their Instagram. You can learn more about Instagram ads and a whole lot more. But check it out. Zai Social. Gotta go. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Should it be God's will, we'll see you again on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.